adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Starring that jet-A Jerry O'Lace, Rocket J. Squirrel, and his pal, Bullwinkle the Moose.
Hi, glad to see you again.
Likewise.
We got some great things on the show today.
Like what? Like what?
Well, you ought to know, Bullwinkle. You're in some of them.
Well, let's get started.
Hey, kids, today's the day we find out what fiendish plan Boris Badenov is going to try on our heroes next.
That's what you think, buddy.
But you have to tell us.
Who says?
Well, it's in the script. Look here, see?
Phooey! That's what I think of script. Nobody tells Boris Badenov what to do.
Oh, dear. Meanwhile, our heroes, Rocky and Bullwinkle...
Hokey Smoke, are we on?
You're a page and a half ahead, fella.
Well, I know, but the script got torn up.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, our heroes are nearing the fishing resort of Angel's Cramp with their underground herd of fishing worms.
Hokey Smoke, I hope we make it, Bullwinkle.
That's my line.
Sorry, Rock, I'm still a little confused.
Meanwhile, at the big fishing resort...
That's my line.
Sorry.
Oh, dear.
Maybe we ought to take it from the top again.
Meanwhile, at the mountain fishing resort of Angel's Cramp, a serious situation had developed.
Finlayson, where are you?
I'm in the dark room, Mr. Penworthy.
The dark room? What are you doing?
I'm developing our serious situation.
And what is our serious situation?
No bait.
It was true. At that moment, the fishing resort was besieged by anglers from all over the country, and there wasn't a bit of bait to be found.
Unless we get some bait, we're ruined.
I'd pay $1 apiece for fishing worms.
Did you hear that, Rocky?
Of course not, Bullwinkle. That fishing resort is 5 miles away.
I could swear it was right over here.
Bullwinkle!
Oh, all right.
You know, something tells me our herd of worms may be worth $1 apiece.
No kidding. Then we had best get a wiggle on. Worm-wise, that is.
Everybody up! Let's go!
Hit 'em up, move 'em out. Hit 'em up, move 'em out. Medium rare hide.
Medium rare hide.
I can't stand it raw.
Now, through the medium of a long-distance lens, let's see what Boris and Natasha are up to.
Boris, you are doing jigsaw puzzle?
No, putting script back together to find out what is fiendish plan we're going to... Oh,
You got it, darling.
you said it. We're going to scare them to death. Look here.
And Boris whipped out his copy of Disguises for All Occasions.
He's in here somewhere, listed alphabetically, probably. Let's see. Admiral disguise, Easter Bunny disguise, Uncle Sam disguise, villain disguise.
Boris, that's what you're wearing now.
Of course. You don't think I really look like this? Aha, here we are.
Oh, that's terrible. What's that?
Right.
No, darling, I asked, what's that?
That's it, Natasha. This is disguise of mysterious monster called what's that? Quick, hand me my kit.
We're going to make up all the way?
You said it. The sky's the limit.
And the two no-goodniks ducked behind a nearby rock. A few moments later, a horrendous monster emerged and started toward Rocky and Bullwinkle, who, all unaware of their impending danger, were driving their herd of worms nearer to their destination.
Angel's Cramp, 2 miles.
Boy, am I glad. With all this here walking, a fella could get saddle sores on his feet.
Well, come on. We just have to drive our herd through that pass and we're finished.
But Rocky and Bullwinkle were finished sooner than that, for as they approached the narrow gorge,
Good heavens! What's that?
and frightened out of their wits, our heroes dashed away, leaving the whole underground herd to the mercy of the wily What's That?
Or as we know him, Boris Badenov.
Don't miss our next episode, Make Believe Monster, or Once Upon a Crime.
Pogo stick get out of control, did it, Junior?
No, it's Romulus and Remus beating me up again.
But they're only 3 years old.
Yeah, but there's 2 of them and only 1 of me. One of them I could handle, but they always gang up on me.
Well, it's like I always say, birds of a feather flock together.
But Romulus and Remus aren't birds. They're little devils.
But they do flock together, and that brings us to the fable called The Chicken and the Ducks. We all know the ducks fly south for the winter, but what about the chicken? If he's in the north, he stays north, freezing in a cold old coop.
Now I know what Admiral Byrd must have felt like.
You think you got it bad, hon? You ought to sit on these cold eggs.
Well, I've had it. Next year, I'm going to join up with the ducks and fly to Miami.
And sure enough, when winter rolled around the following year, the ring-necked mallards had a ringer in the ranks.
Hey, Murdoch, what kind of a duck is that flying next to you?
I don't know. I'll ask him. Hey, Jack, you a canvasback?
No.
A teal?
No. Ask me if I'm a Rhode Island red.
Okay. You a Rhode Island red?
No, but thanks for asking.
It's true, he was a Plymouth Rock. A week or so later, the migrating flock reached Florida and quickly came to roost on the shores of Miami Bay. That's when an emergency meeting of the exclusive Duck Club was held.
Murdoch says we got a chicken amongst us, and this is a club for ducks. He's got to go. All in favor say quack. Quack, 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 quack. Murdoch, throw him out.
Ah, but that chicken was not chicken.
Ducks, we'll have no more of that. I'm a bird, and I've got just as much right here as the rest of you birds.
It was then that Murdoch and Feeney, who had been bosom pals since egghood, made a solemn vow.
And we shall join forces
And together never rest
until that chick is chucked out.
So they sent away for a diabolical contraption called a rocket chair.
According to the instructions, all we got to do is get the chicken to sit in a chair, press button A, and he'll be launched into outer space. Here he comes now. Say, you look pretty tired.
Yeah, why don't you sit down?
Thank you, I will. Press button A. Well, I'll see you birds later. Something went wrong. Look, I'll sit in the chair and we'll find out why this thing went awry.
Okay. You comfy?
Yeah, okay. Press button A. Ow! Press button B!
We should have got one with a C button. Maybe a Wilkie button. What's with a toy chicken, Feeney?
I sent away for it.
The same place we got the rocket chair?
Now, look, you watch what happens when I wind her up. Say, haven't we met before? Paris? Rome? Now watch this. See? He takes the fake chicken's hand, and suddenly, in her other hand appears a German Luger. She pulls the trigger and...
Maybe there are some buttons we gotta press, huh?
No. Look, here's the trouble. I forgot to put bullets in the gun. See what happens when I pull the trigger. Fellow ducks, Murdoch and I have not been able to rid the club of the chicken.
Yeah, we almost got rid of Feeney, but not the chicken.
So here's what we suggest. There are 69 of us and only 1 of him. So we each get a carving knife.
You can imagine the poor chicken's dismay at seeing the ducks coming at him armed to the teeth. Flight would do no good. Ducks are faster than chickens. Then suddenly he remembered something he saw a few minutes ago. An old barge had been towed into the bay, and a sign on its bow read, "For Navy Target Practice." Even at that very moment, a plane flew high above it and dropped a bomb.
Stop, you ducks, stop. I am a magic chicken. Don't listen to him. I am a magic chicken, and I can prove it.
So saying, he pulled a feather from his tail, held it aloft, and proclaimed in a loud chicken voice,
I hereby order that yonder barge sitting out in the bay be destroyed.
The barge blew up along with Feeney's and Murdoch's planes. The chicken was made an honorary duck, and as for Feeney and Murdoch, They spent the rest of the winter pulling out their tail feathers and making all kinds of crazy wishes, none of which came true.
How's some fable, Pop?
Yes, and you can see why I use the adage, birds of a feather flock together.
I'd say it a little differently.
How so?
Birds of a feather pluck together.
Go play with Romulus and Remus, son.
Master of the cinematic arts, Mr. Know-It-All.
Cinematic arts nothing. This is about the movies. Today our subject is how to direct temperamental movie stars. And our first example is a child star, little Muriel Merkel.
I's a bad girl, I is.
I am the only director in Hollywood who can make Muriel laugh. All right, little Muriel, the Colonel has come home from the war. Let's have a big laugh. A nice big laugh for America, Muriel. See, I really have a way with her. Next, we have Hoot Mix, a real He-Man who never lets a stuntman do any of his hard scenes. Okay, Hoot, let's see you fight with the dummy.
Anything you saying, boss?
Cut! That was very good, Hoot. Oh! Hey, that's not in the script.
I know, I'm just ad-libbing.
Next, we have handsome Zip Farnsworth, the most temperamental man in the industry.
Yeah!
But I am so good, I have even persuaded him to do a soap commercial. Ready? Action! Okay, Zip, what is it you do with the soap of Hollywood stars?
That's what I do with it, Buster.
Thank you, Zip. And good night from Hollywood.
Hello again, Peabody and Sherman here.
Who are we going to visit today, Mr. Peabody?
Orsted.
Bless you.
I did not sneeze, Sherman. I was referring to Hans Christian Orsted, the brilliant Danish physicist and discoverer of electromagnetism.
Oh.
So if you'll be so kind as to set the way back for the year 1820 and the place Copenhagen, Denmark, we'll be on our way. We entered the Wayback and were immediately teleported back through time, where we soon found ourselves standing in front of the small country home of Hans Orsted.
Gee, we didn't pick a very good day to visit, Mr. Peabody. It looks like we're in for quite a storm.
An electrical storm, to be exact, Sherman. Come, let's...
Quick, gentlemen. Tell me, have you seen him?
Well, I'm afraid we haven't seen anybody. You see, we just got here and we
You don't suppose he went under the house, do you?
Well, it's possible, but perhaps if you told us just who...
I'll have to look under there.
We quickly joined Mr. Orsted under the house to see if we could learn the reason for his peculiar actions. Without seeming to pry, sir, may I ask just who it is you are looking for under here?
Jimmy.
Jimmy? I mean, Jimmy?
Yes, sure, but he ain't been here. There's only one place left to look.
Following him into the house, we watched as he approached a large, overstuffed sofa.
So, here you are. Shame on you.
Oops, I'm afraid Mr. Orsted has been working too hard, Mr. Peabody. Now he's talking to the sofa.
Not to the sofa, Sherman, but to something under the sofa. See?
Ah! Ah!
And unless I miss my guess, that is Jimmy.
Yeah, and Jimmy's a bad Jimmy. He hasn't got it in his mouth. He must have buried it. Now I can't fly my kite and make a compass.
Huh? Buried what? And what does flying a kite have to do with you making a compass?
Just this. By attaching this needle to the tail of a kite and flying it during this electrical storm, lightning would strike it. Thus, it would become magnetized.
And being magnetized, it would always point north, due to the magnetic field surrounding the Earth.
Yeah, sure. But then Jimmy ran off with my kite string, and I've got to find it before the storm is over.
Oh, don't worry. I am certain that I can find the exact spot where Jimmy buried the kite string. Follow me. Walking directly to a spot beneath a large tree, I instructed Sherman to dig. In no time at all, he had uncovered 2 soup bones, a newspaper, a rubber ball, a well-chewed slipper, and, of course, the ball of string.
Gee, that's amazing, Mr. Peabody. How did you know that this is where Jimmy buried his stuff?
Well, very simple. In order to think what a dog thinks, you must simply think like a dog. And, among other things, Sherman, I think like a dog.
Sorry, Mr. Peabody, I keep forgetting.
Now would be an excellent time to get on with your discovery, Mr. Orsted.
Good. Here I go, behavers.
So saying, Hans Orsted ran across an open field, but watching the kite instead of where he was going, once more stopped the experiment dead in its tracks. Quickly, Sherman, pull him out.
I got him. Are you all right, Mr. Orsted?
No,
What's the matter?
I lost the needle.
Come on, I'll help you look for it.
Sherman and Hans frantically set about searching through the hay, but of course it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. You'll never find it that way, Sherman. There's only one quick way to find a needle in a haystack.
How's that?
By simply sitting down in the hay.
Sitting down, are you sure?
Try it and see.
Well, okay, but it seems kind of... Ah!
It's the hard way, I'll admit, but it works every time. Here's the needle, Hans.
Too late, I don't need it now.
What do you mean?
We waited too long, the storm is over.
It was true, the sky had cleared and there was no more lightning.
Oh, I best just forget the whole thing.
Nonsense, it's simply a matter of getting it to storm again, and I can do that before you can say cumulus nimbus. Returning to the house, we proceeded to raid the Orsted icebox. Finding a fine ham, some leftover chicken, and plenty of pickles and olives, I was soon able to whip up a fine lunch, which we then took into a nearby meadow and prepared to enjoy.
I don't get it, Mr. Peabody. I thought you said you were going to make it storm again.
I'm doing exactly that right now, Sherman.
By eating lunch?
When eaten out of doors, it's referred to as a picnic, Sherman, and the best way I know to drum up some foul weather is to have a picnic. Ah, there it is now, right on cue.
By Yemeni, nothing gonna stop me now.
Nothing gonna did, and needless to say, his experiment with electromagnetism was a rousing success.
And he lived happily ever after, right, Mr. Peabody?
Not quite, Sherman. For just a few months after that eventful day, Hans was repairing a toaster for his mother when, quite by accident, his brother Virgil plugged in the cord to which Hans was holding two bare wires, and poor Hans disappeared in a blue flash.
How awful! What did his brother say to his mother about that?
Well, what could he say, Sherman, but, "Look, Mom, no hands."
Last time, you remember, our heroes were driving their herd of fishing worms through the gorge when they were confronted by a most dreadful sight, the what's that? A frightful monster so called because whenever anyone sees it, they scream,
Good heavens! What's that?
See? Our heroes fled in fright and panic.
Not to say pell-mell.
While back at the gorge, the monster was gay and jubilant.
Who's gay and jubilant? We're Boris and Natasha.
Yes, the what's that was just a trick dreamed up by Boris Badenov. But of course, our heroes didn't know that.
He's right behind us, Rock. I can hear the pounding of his big flat feet.
Those are your big flat feet, Bullwinkle.
Oh, so they are.
Now let's just wait a second.
Okay. That's long enough. Let's go.
Hold it, Bullwinkle. I'm ashamed of us. We acted like cowards.
Who was acting?
We left our herd back there.
True.
Monster or no monster, we gotta go back.
How come?
Noblesse oblige.
Gesundheit.
I mean, it's our duty to meet that terrible monster face to face.
We couldn't back up to him, huh?
Come on, Bullwinkle. Duty call.
And reluctantly, our heroes began to retrace their footsteps.
They're coming back, Natasha. Quick, back into what's that costume. Oh, you're in already. Good. Now we can... Raskolnikov. Who's in there with you? Who's guy with the funny feet? Come out, you double-crosser, and fight like men. Natasha, come out.
Yes, darling.
Natasha, you're out here.
Darling, everybody's got to be somewhere.
But who is in there?
I don't know, but it's pretty cheesy disguise. Look, nose is all lopsided.
Uh-oh.
The two villains dashed away, madly pursued by the monster. Round and round the rough and rugged rocks, the ragged rascals rudely ran until they were able to escape temporarily.
Darling, I thought Fireside Crookbook said that was extinct.
It did. Look right here. This frightening beast is now extinct.
Turn page, darling.
Almost. Oh, boy.
Things looked bad for Boris and Natasha until the wily what's-that, dizzy from chasing around the rock, collapsed in a heap.
Let's go, Boris.
Hold it, hold it. Look who's coming.
Sure enough, our heroes had returned to the worm herd.
Well, we're back, fellas.
Did you miss us?
Let's get going, Bullwinkle. It's almost sundown.
Right, and I certainly hope we don't see whatever it was we saw before. Whatever it was.
And once more, our heroes began to drive their herd forward.
Come on, Worm, get a wiggle on.
But just a short distance ahead, Boris and Natasha were ready to go into their act again.
Now, when I count 3, we jump out and go, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. Got it?
Got it, darling. Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
And Natasha,
Yes?
next time you stand on my shoulders, take off high heels. 1, 2.
And a second later, right in front of the startled Bullwinkle,
Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
What's that? What's that?
Hold your ground, Bullwinkle.
Hold it, I'm froze to it.
Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
I'll get a stick and see if I can scare it away.
but the plucky squirrel grabbed a nearby cactus and started for the menacing figure.
Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo.
But what might have happened, we'll never know, for at that instant...
Crime in Nentales. There's 2 of them.
Yes, the real What's That had recovered and was bounding toward our heroes, its teeth flashing wickedly. Don't miss our next biting episode, Choo Choo Baby, or Stick to Your Gums.
Well, I guess that about wraps up another Rocky show.
Certainly hope you enjoyed it. I did. I always say.
Bullwinkle, time for us to go.
Already? Okay, but first, here are some of the people who made this show impossible.
That's not all.
My fingers get tired. Oop! Got away from me again.
Well, see you next time. Ready, Bullwinkle?